All right. Three, two, one. And we're live. Welcome back to Nerds in the Gym podcast. I'm Brandon.
I'm Marco, and today is January 6th, 2021. It's the new year, first podcast of the new year. And yeah, 2021 is seeming like the perfect sequel of 2020 if you think the perfect sequel is just stuff getting worse considering the stuff that is going on today in America. I don't know if anybody is aware, but the Capitol was stormed by a bunch of Trump supporters today and was completely overtaken by them. This is going to be one of those days that is in the history books. I will say that much. But yeah, perfect sequel to 2020. I do have to say, all sequel or majority of sequels, not The Empire Strikes Back or The Dark Knight, but most sequels are way worse than the original. And 2021 so could potentially be worse than 2020 somehow. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
I'd like to counter. One, are you on fire behind you?
No, no, no. I have a little space heater, but it's got a fire effect in it. So it makes
It's
me
very
feel.
cozy.
Oh, it is. It's at like 80 degrees right now.
Sorry, back to sequels. I mean, I would disagree. I like sequels. I know I'm not the most popular opinion, but I'm a
Um,
big sequel fan. Let me
I,
tell you
I,
why.
okay. Let's hear it.
You don't have to worry about setup. I know how
That's
the
true.
hero has his powers.
Yep.
I know the characters.
Yep.
I have already invested an hour plus.
Yep.
So I am good to go for the ride. You can just get right into the action
Yeah.
and you get to tell a new story with some old friends.
Yeah. No, I don't mind sequels, but like sometimes sequels don't bring the characters anywhere new. It's just like the sequels are kind of like just a rehash of the first one. Those are the ones that I kind of have a problem with. Like we were talking about Alvin and the Chipmunks last week, weren't we? The
We
Squeakquel
were.
is literally the same exact movie. They just added the female ones.
Right. No
Those
one
are,
is saying Alvin and the Chipmunks is a great movie, Marco. They're a
but
movie for kids.
I okay.
I mean, you can defend yourself, but no one's like petitioning the Oscars
Well, like
for the
I'm just saying
squeakle.
is there's those sequels that like are the same exact thing as the first movie. They just change a couple things, and then it's like it wasn't anything new. It was the same
Well,
thing.
sometimes the fourth movie is the same thing as
The
the
seventh.
seventh movie.
Yes. Yes.
I see what you're saying. And I think that happens when
It's
filmmakers are
just for
afraid to
money.
like take a big swing. Or also, yeah, it could be a cash grab.
Afraid to take a big swing. They know they have nothing, but they can just do a quick cash grab.
What was interesting to me, speaking of sequels, is the second Thor movie, the Dark
Dark
World.
World.
So I don't mind it. It's not a good movie by any means. I would say it's a setup movie, but it sets up a
Yeah.
movie 12 movies down the line.
Yeah, yeah.
The Patty Jenkins was supposed to be the one that directed that movie. She's the one that does Wonder Woman.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And she's also the one that has a Star Wars movie coming out.
Rogue Squadron.
And she did an interview, and they asked why she backed out. And she goes, I saw the script. I knew it wasn't good. And if I did it, they would have blamed it because I was a woman. So I backed out. And she wasn't wrong. I mean, no one's going, hey, let's go watch Thor the Dark World.
Oh, I know. I remember seeing it in theaters with a friend of mine, and I remember sitting there. I was like, "There, this is pretty bad." Actually, you know who the friend was? Because his parents went too. It was his dad is Joe's physical therapist right now,
You like to name drop that guy a lot. I
and
feel
I
like,
was
does it give you street cred?
no, it was I I just like I didn't know if like he would be into a movie like that really.
How old were you? Ballpark.
When did that movie come out?
I don't know.
2013?
Are you? So you were 14. Okay.
I was like 13, 14 maybe.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was thinking like how weird it was that you guys went with his parents, but then I was like, okay, if you're teenagers. That
Yeah,
was the first Marvel movie. Not to go all negative. That was the first Marvel movie I remember seeing like not enjoying.
yeah.
And
I have
not that I didn't enjoy it. It was, how do I say it? That it didn't make me want to see it anytime soon.
yeah. So it was 2013. Yeah. So they have an actual October 22nd, 2013. So I was only 13.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. I guess I have this weird perspective though. Like when I look at like at the time when I looked at like people in like their 30s and 40s, I was like, oh, there's no way they'd be watching a superhero movie. I find like anybody like 30 plus, I was like, no way they'd watch a superhero movie. But then I realized it's like this big thing across like all ages.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a wide spectrum.
Yeah. So like I remember like it was weird because I was like seeing it with his my friend and his parents, and I was like, this is weird. I don't feel like this is like a movie like that like adults would want to see. Like I feel like this is out of their like zone.
Bubble.
Their bubble. There we go. I got there with
Yeah, I can see that. But then I would argue, what sequels would you say are better than the original? Is that even possible?
Empire Strikes Back, Dark Knight,
Okay.
Godfather 2.
Marco, have you seen Godfather 2?
I saw Godfather 1.
Okay. So do you have a list of good sequels on your screen right now?
No, I do not. But I've seen Dark Knight is way better than Batman Begins. I don't even really remember Batman Begins. And then the more like I watch like the original A New Hope compared to Empire Strikes Back, Empire Strikes Back is way better.
So that's where my idea where sequels are great is because I will say the first Star Wars movie, the original, is tough going because there's so much to set up. Because
Yeah.
that universe is starting from scratch. So that's where like the second one is able.
Dark Knight, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Empire Strikes Back is on here.
Oh, you're just reading a list now. But anyway,
Yeah.
so that's where I'm saying I like sequels because you can just hit the ground running.
Yeah,
They have to be done right. For
like
sure.
I think Dark Knight, Empire Strikes Back did it very well. Oh, Spider-Man 2 is also a great sequel.
Marco, I think I'm changing your mind on sequels. You just hate the sequels.
No. It's not true. No, there's a lot
But
of
anyways,
sequels that I thought.
yeah, well think
So
about
how is episode 6 on this list of Star Wars?
as a good sequel or a bad sequel?
It was a good sequel. I would say it's on par with episode 4. Well, it's
Honestly,
not better than
Marco, that's
episode
one of
5.
my favorites. 6?
Episode 6? Really?
Do you not like Ewoks? Is that what this is coming down to, Marco?
No,
Luke Skywalker finally getting his powers. Him and Vader having the final show off.
I like that final show off and stuff, but like you could tell Harrison Ford was done with the role. There were some things that he did in that role where I was like, it's not very Han Solo like.
I like how if he does it, he's done with the role. But if Hayden Christensen does the same thing, it's bad dialogue. Pick a lane.
No, the way he delivered it and stuff, it was like his facial expressions and like his body language essentially.
Maybe he's grown as an actor. Or as the 80s, right? He was probably coked out of his mind.
Yes, that
You're
too.
welcome.
That too. And he was trying to hide his affair with Carrie Fisher.
Which is just very weird.
But like
you're dating on screen. Half the people think you're dating anyways, but let's not tell anyone until we're 70 years old.
well, he was in a marriage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good for Harrison.
His first of like 5.
Yeah, you take half of half of half. That's why you have to do Ender's Game. You don't have a retirement fund after the 4th divorce.
Oh man, there's a thing like him and Sam L. Jackson have like a little competition with each other to see who can gross more money as an actor.
Did they both just stop trying? Or was this a different era? Because Harrison Ford does one movie every 4 years.
Yeah, but he still is like up there against Sam L. Jackson.
What if this is the only reason he's doing Indiana Jones again? It's just an F you to Sam Jackson.
Fuck you, I'm taking my $2 billion.
So yeah, so back to like sequels, trilogies, however you want to say. So Thor 3 is easily the best one out of there.
Yeah. I think when I'm talking about sequels, though, I'm more talking about like the 1-2 punch. Like, if the third one's better than the other ones, that one I'm fine with. But like when you go from like the 1 to the 2, the second one is usually not the best. If the third one is typically not better.
Okay, I can see what you're saying there. Yeah, the third one because you can kind of learn what you did wrong.
Yeah.
It's just crazy we live in a world where you get a third swing.
Yeah.
For the longest time, you just didn't, and if it did, it was straight to VHS.
Yeah.
But there's such a market for well-known characters at this point.
Oh, I know.
And that's why you're going to get another Alvin and the Chipmunks, I'm sure. It might take a few years, but you're going to get it.
No.
Maybe they go to Denver, Japan. That would be a cash grab.
Isn't Justin Timberlake one of the voices?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Marco, I only saw the first one once. You
Oh.
seem to be the one familiar with the source material.
I think I saw the one where they go to an island in theater.
You rented it out. You paid the $150 to rent out a theater by yourself. It's actually super cheap now, if you think about it.
So what?
It's only like you rent out a movie theater now. It's like $120.
Really?
Yeah.
For how long?
I think just the one movie.
So like, you should get like a really obnoxious movie that's like 4 hours long.
Well, I'm wondering if they can choose any movie. Or, well, you actually worked at a theater, Marco. Give us some inside baseball. What are movies played on now?
They're digital.
So you download it at the theater?
Yeah, essentially.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a digital projector, and there's basically a computer hooked up to each projector.
So say it's
well, it's
July
not
4th. Oh, go ahead.
It's not a computer. It's like the projector has like its own like little database and stuff, and you go in there and you can. Because I don't know, I don't remember how they get the movies. They just get them sent in and they're uploaded to like each projector. You can go through and it's basically like those LED screens on like printers and stuff, the touchscreen ones. That's essentially the screen you have on there.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So like you just have nothing. You don't get like a delivery of new movies. I don't know why I assumed it was still done old school.
No, everything is digital now. There's some films like I know episode 7 was they used the old type of like filming with the actual like film going through and stuff, and they had to bring in those old projectors and everything to project them in theaters.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because like I know Quentin Tarantino is famous for doing that as well.
Yeah, so for like I think the Hollywood movie or whatever, they had to do that.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He went old school. He went like 1980s.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think that was our first episode. I don't know if we ever released it or not. We broke that one down. And you guys just start Googling types of film.
We did not release that one. I should probably release those at some point. You guys want them? You, the fans. Oh wait, I'm like Uncle Sam. You. Actually, maybe that's too sensitive a topic to bring up right now.
Uncle Sam trying to.
Well, because I think that promotes patriotism, and I think a lot of people are saying that a certain group of people are in control of the word patriotism now and stuff. So.
I think you're just overthinking it, Marco.
Oh no, I literally have spent like hours on Twitter today looking at this stuff.
I mean, there's nothing against the rules saying we can't talk about it. It was just very weird. I was at work, so I wasn't checking my phone.
Oh,
and
so
everyone walking by had to tell me about it.
So we were at the gym. Joe had it up on the TV there while people were working out. So we have a news feed going on while people are working out at the gym.
So Joe's back?
Oh, he's back. Demonstrating and everything, bending his knee.
How many weeks was he out? 6?
Let's see. I know from the week of Christmas, which was that was a Friday, so the Monday before Christmas, that was 6 weeks from surgery, and then that's another 2 weeks, so like it's 8 weeks.
That's impressive.
Yep.
So gym's back open. You guys took a mini hiatus.
Yeah,
you guys full class schedule or?
Yeah, full class schedule, but he comes in and he has to be Mr. Bad Cop. I was Mr. Good Cop, now he's Bad Cop. Conflict of interest, Brandon. God.
Morning classes, is that 8 a.m. one still open?
So there's the 8 a.m. boxing, yes.
That kind of is Joe running that or you?
You think I'm running that? No. Joe is.
Okay, sounds good. So, spoiler alert, I'll have some company.
Yes, you will. At least it's not certain people.
He looked at the camera occasionally. They knew who they were. They didn't want to admit it, but he couldn't be around them anymore. Any concerns from your end?
For like COVID and stuff?
Yeah, I mean it was implied, but sure.
Honestly, I'm at this point where it's like there's a possibility I had it within the past 2 months and just didn't know.
Right.
It's just like I think at this point it's inevitable that either A, I'm going to get it, or already had it. But
it's so weird your mom thought you were depressed as a kid. Your cheery disposition.
What, are you saying I sound depressed right now?
I'm either going to get it or I had it.
We're all going to die at some point, so.
Yeah, that's helping. Marco, do you find... Marco, what do you look at when like you and I are having this like Skype conversation? Do you look at me?
Oh, like, I'm looking at like all the screens and stuff to make sure things are going good.
Okay, no, because I feel bad because I'm not making eye contact with you, but like I'll glance to make sure you're there.
It's hard to make eye contact because if I'm looking at you, I'm not really looking at you because looking at you would be looking at the camera, vice versa. So like it's like
right.
It's very weird. No, I keep like looking at. So I have the screen with like the OBS and stuff up here. I have the screen with you there. But I'm just like making sure like the audio levels are working. Skype or OBS crashed earlier when nothing was happening, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. So I'm just keeping.
Oh no worries. I was just curious. I didn't want you to think I was being like rude by not looking at you.
No,
I
could care less. This is such like an unnatural way to talk.
Mm-hmm. So we were talking about the movies earlier. What's crazy to me is the idea that like I haven't gone to the movies in it's probably about a year and a half now. I can't remember the last because just being busy, I wasn't going as much.
You had to see in episode 9, right?
Yeah, that was probably the last one.
Yeah, so last December.
That's crazy. So maybe not a year and a half, but for me, I used to go like weekly. But now, like, the idea of sitting in a room full of strangers...
Oh, you were one of those guys.
That kept your business alive.
Hey,
I'll take extra butter on that, popcorn boy.
God damn the people with their goddamn extra butter, fake butter.
I tried to melt butter at my house the other day for popcorn. So I did like a quarter of a stick of butter. I thought that'd be good. That's nothing. I can only imagine how much butter I was putting into my system.
That stuff is, I think it's like soybean oil or something.
If you're eating the healthy stuff.
At the movie theater. It's something weird. I forget what it was. And then the oil we used for popping the popcorn was coconut oil. And that's what gives it the yellow color.
I do remember that was a big deal when they changed to coconut oil. They're like, it's healthier.
Not in excess amounts.
With the movie theater, what kills me?
My mouth is like super dry for some reason, and I've almost gone through this entire thing. There's something weird that happens. The more water I drink throughout the day, the more dehydrated I feel.
So I can answer that for you, Marco. I'm glad you're in school as a biology major. So it's you got it reversed. You're drinking more water because you feel dehydrated.
No,
If you're feeling normal and I give you 2 cups of water, you're not going to feel less dry.
I'm feeling more dry the more I drink.
No, it's not. That's not how it works.
This is how it's working for me.
Your body's automatically telling you you need more water, so you must be really dehydrated.
I haven't worked out today. I finished the gallon yesterday. SEKB Tribe, please look at it.
For the record, that's not a sponsored product at all. Don't you dare. Don't you dare pretend like we're selling those.
No, I drink a gallon of water every day. The more of this I'm drinking today, the more. I didn't even work out today. I haven't broke a sweat. Why am I so thirsty? Damn it.
That's a good question. Oh, you don't have an answer?
No, I don't. I don't have an answer as to why I'm getting more thirsty the more I drink.
Did you have a lot of salty foods, Marco? This is great content. Let's find out what's wrong with Marco's
I had a bunch
body.
of fried chicken.
Salt.
Yeah, that did happen. I had.
Hey guys, if any other viewers out there have any other health issues they want to get diagnosed by Marco and myself, just go ahead and send it out to the Gyms and the Nerd podcast email. It'll be in the bio, and we're gonna see if we can find some, ways to help you help yourself.
look at that detective work. You're like Sherlock Holmes, and I'm like his sidekick there.
What happens when someone with a sociology degree, someone with a physics degree, and someone who's no longer depressed from being a child diagnosed medical? Nerds in the gym. Welcome to the doctor's office.
The podcast goes straight back to shitting on Marco.
Well, for the record, we're about as qualified as Dr. Phil is, so.
Yeah.
Marco, true. You got to take your diet, turn it upside down, and deep fried in love. You eat because you're alone.
I can't think of that. I can't think of
Dr.
her name. Drew? No.
Rachel Ray.
No,
Bonnie and Clyde.
It is a woman cook. She's like old and white.
Paula Deen.
Yes.
In today's racial climate, that's right. Bring up Paula Deen.
Well, that's what meant you and your stupid like Southern accent or whatever you were doing.
It was a Dr. Phil impression, you ignorant a-hole.
Sorry. Dr. Phil?
Your description. Yeah, she's a woman that cooks. Cooking show. Yep, there's only one of those. Welcome back to Food Network Review from 2017.
It was such a vague thing, too, that white old woman that cooks. Like, there's so many people that are white and old and cook.
It's almost as if gender and race has nothing to do with one's ability to cook. Who knew?
Oh, God.
Welcome back to Race Relations with Marco and Brandon.
You just cut out a bit.
Oh, I said, welcome back to Race Relations with Marco and Brandon. We know you're not happy, but we're going to fix it.
Oh, my God. Anyhow.
Did you say ni hao?
No, anyhow.
Are you saying hello to our Japanese audience?
Oh, yes. Ni hao. That's maybe racist. I tried to be correct.
I think that's just hello.
Oh.
No?
No, I thought it was the accent I was trying to go for.
Marco, you have no inflection. There was no accent there.
Ni hao.
That was you trying to speak a foreign language. Did you tell me you took Italian in school?
Oh, yeah, it was Io mi chiamo Marco. You love the inflection there.
As someone that doesn't speak Italian, I can't tell. Was there hand gestures I missed?
No, I just said my name is Marco in Italian.
Yeah, I put that together. So I'll tell you what I've been doing lately. So Nintendo re-released Mario 64
Yeah,
for the Switch. They put it with like 3 other games, but I don't touch it. But so fun. You ever get the 64?
No, I've been playing a lot of PlayStation 5 though.
Lame. Go back to Nintendo 64. This game is from like 96. I'm getting hours. Way more hours than you're ever getting out of your story modes.
I went from barely playing any video games the past like month and a half to I literally put like 24 hours into Call of Duty this past weekend.
How's your ranking looking?
Well, I think like it's hard to tell right now because there's so many modders and hackers. So I'm in like the top like 2.5% right now.
That's not bad.
Of players. But
yeah. Of players that name begin with M.
You know what's funny is my gamer tag begins with a Z actually. It's ZZ Mustard.
Why don't you get that information out there, Marco? Maybe the fans want to play with you.
ZZ Mustard dash. You gotta put the hyphen.
I'm gonna put this out there if this ever takes off. This moment, so then you can't play video games without 1,000 requests. Marco, is there any big game coming out? Because I heard that other one tanked, huh?
Cyberpunk?
Yeah, I heard it was awful.
So you know what I did? So they're asking. So Sony's giving out refunds on PlayStation. So I beat the game and now I got my refund.
Complete refund?
Yes.
Completely refunded.
Just completely refunded, yes.
How bad is this game? Like, you can't just give your money back.
Hold on. I can understand the reasoning for the console version of the game. PC version isn't that bad. A lot of people are complaining about the bugs and stuff. The bugs were expected. Like if you played a Fallout game or anything, like the type of bugs are in there are kind of like, it's not like, it's like, yeah, that happens to a game of this scale and everything. I didn't think it was like terrible. I thought it was like a pretty generic story, but I liked the actual, like playing the game. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was awful. I think.
So you said you beat it? So you beat the story mode they had?
Yeah.
What about the online component? Just not for you, or
there's no online component?
Really?
That is releasing in 2022, I believe.
So they're just hoping the story mode's good enough to make people want it in 2 years?
Well, for Grand Theft Auto, they did the same thing with Grand Theft Auto 5. They released the game, and then online came out at a future time frame. So this game was supposed to release. This game was announced back in 2012 that it was in development.
Yeah.
It was supposed to release back in like 2018. Then it got pushed back.
Was this originally crowdfunded?
It may have been.
Because I heard people were getting ticked because it's just like, we've been crowdfunding this for a decade and nothing's happened.
That may be Space Citizen.
Oh, okay. Different game.
That game is ridiculous, and that game's slated to release probably in like 10 years time frame, like a full release.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, that game is looking incredible if it like works the way it's supposed to. Because I think like what it's supposed to be is it's supposed to be like this huge, massive online multiplayer game, and it's like an open world space game where you can fly planet to planet and stuff. There's a multiplayer component with like player versus player and everything. And I'm like, this could be a really like cool game if it works properly. I think our computers and consoles and stuff are just like they can't handle the game yet, like the baseline consoles. But going back to Cyberpunk, I was lucky because I was playing on PlayStation 5. I was playing the PlayStation 4 version on the PlayStation 5 because there's no PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X version. There's an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4 version. So mine just ran smoothly, but I didn't get like increased graphic fidelity or anything. I just got what it would have been. What's happening though is people on PS4 and Xbox One, because the consoles are so dated now, people are getting like 15 frames per second. It's
So it's
brutal.
lagging.
Oh, it feels terrible. It's lagging. Models and stuff aren't loading in. Like there's just blocks walking down the street. It's hilarious.
What's the story? I've seen the trailer with Keanu. That's about it.
You're basically just this like, well, I played only one version of the story is the thing. So there's 3 different types of characters you can pick. Nomad, like a city streets kid, or somebody that grows up in like the corporate world.
Or like someone that loves musical theater.
No.
Are you playing? Are you playing
3.
Pippin?
So I played. Okay. I played as the city streets kid, and basically you just are
Did
going.
Did you choose that
through...
because deep down you think you're street smart?
Nope.
You're just which one of these speaks to me? I
honestly,
do. I walked up the street. I am street smart.
I walked down North Street one time and I was like, this is who I really am. No. What? The funny part is only people that live in this area understand what I mean. But
I feel like everyone has a North Street and they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah. But like reading the descriptions, I was like, this one may sound like it's the most fun, but I think the reason why I did that is because it sounded the most Grand Theft Auto like play style.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, like with this way, you just like get hired by a bunch of people and do all these heists and stuff. That's essentially what you do.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. So I don't know what the other ones did. I was like, I'm going to get my refund. Well, like the company that made it, CD Projekt Red, is very good at fixing their games up and everything. The PlayStation 5 version of the game is going to release in a year's time frame. We'll see how that looks and does, and depending on how it is, maybe I'll repurchase it and play through it again, because it's one of those games where it's like I want to play through the other ways that you can play through it. And I was like, kind of interested in it, but if I'm able to get this refund, why not take it and then see if the product is any better when they do the re-release on PS5, Xbox Series X? Then maybe I'll get it again. I don't know.
Well, I'm just surprised because that game they're going to re-release it, fix it. Meanwhile, Star Wars Pilots or whatever, they're just giving up. They're just giving it away for 20
Squadrons?
Bucks. Yeah. Or the Avengers game that they spent a decade making. They're just like, and we failed.
That game is bad. The Squadrons they don't care about. They made their money off of it and they're done with it. They knew what they were doing.
It's crazy.
But I don't know. Like they're gonna fix it, and there's a bunch of videos and stuff on YouTube. They're like, how does Rockstar make Grand Theft Auto 5, and how does it still hold up to this day in 2020? A game that released in 2013, then was re-released in 2014 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So it was a game that came out on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. This coming summer, it is getting a release for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X.
Are they continuing to add story to the online component?
For GTA?
Yeah, I saw like a thing. They're opening up a new island or something.
So they open up a new island, so then you could do the grand or some new heist, essentially.
Do you think that is a better model right now? Is to find a game, if people enjoy it, and just expand on it?
That is definitely the better model, in my opinion.
Where do they make their money? Are they going to make you buy this new island, this new heist?
So what they do is, so you have to put in a certain amount of money to set up a heist in that game. So I actually need to play that heist. I haven't done it yet because I like my Grand Theft Auto game. But what you do is you put in money to do for the heist setup. So then you have
real money or video game money?
Video game money, but this is where it comes in. So usually, depending on like what heist you do and stuff, you need to own like different like houses or facilities in the game. So I'm not sure if you need to for this one, but you may need to buy another building, like a facility or something, in order to do the heist setup out of there. Then you buy the setup, and you have to do the setup missions and everything. Then you go and do the heist. Where they're making their money is you can buy in-game money with real money. So $8 million in that game cost $100 in real life. And they're constantly adding new weapons, new vehicles, new skins, clothing and stuff to the game. So people are putting their money in. Oh, they keep adding like these new facilities, buildings and stuff that you can buy. There's businesses in the game that you can buy, so then you can make more money. So they're adding all these things for that you can buy into the game. There's so much stuff though where people just end up buying money just so they can get it all at once.
Right, because when you're an adult and you got things going on, those are the ones that have money.
Yeah.
So those are the ones you want to make it like, okay, it's going to take X amount of time that I can skip by giving you money. I can just buy it. Is there any talks about a new Grand Theft Auto game, or are they just going to keep building off of this one?
Grand Theft Auto 6 is in early development right now, like very early.
If I remember, 5 took them a long time to make. They were teasing 5.
Grand Theft Auto 4 came out in 2007. 5 came out in 2013.
That's a good amount of time.
So that was 6 years. We're already 7 years since this. So there's a couple things that happened. Red Dead Redemption 2 released in 2018. That they literally had every Rockstar studio working on. Rockstar's working on a couple other games right now, I believe. But
now, not to interrupt you, Marco, with Red Dead Redemption 2, I haven't started playing it. Again, it's years old. Is there a reason why that one isn't caught on like Grand Theft Auto? Or are people still playing this one online?
The hard part with that is man, there is a community it has online. It's not as big as Grand Theft Auto because Grand Theft Auto is so fast paced, essentially. Red Dead Redemption 2, though, so that story is phenomenal. That is one of my favorite games I've ever played.
Well, it's the only time I've ever gotten a video game that's 2 discs.
So, and that's Blu-ray too. So back on the Xbox 360 when I got Grand Theft Auto 5, the Xbox 360 didn't have a Blu-ray player, so that came with 2 discs. But
I think I bought the wrong one used.
What?
If I got 2 discs?
No, you're fine.
Okay. I mean, again,
it's supposed to be 2 discs because I think Blu-ray. I forget how much Blu-ray holds on a disc.
I'm nowhere near the gamer that you are. I'm not even a gamer at all. I'd rather play the throwback games. Like I got Super Nintendo. Like I said, I'm all amped about N64. Did you ever play for the Wii, the pod racing game?
Pod racing. I'm trying to think. What was it like?
This one was on the Wii, so like you had the Wii controller that was flat, and then you would just control it like that. It was kind of a big deal for the time.
I played Mario Kart.
Very similar. I was just curious because we're a nerd-based podcast. I might buy that one next.
I didn't play like Star Wars pod racing?
Yeah.
Oh, I never played it, but I know what you're talking about. There was actually Star Wars: The Clone Wars video game that came out where you use the Wii controller like a lightsaber, and they had lightsaber attachments for it. I remember playing that one.
Marco, for the life of you, what did you think the other pod racing was?
You were saying pod racing, and I was like, what the fuck's a pod?
Like a Tide Pod? Those are locked up because of me.
But yeah, no. Like I really enjoy story-driven games. I've been playing Call of Duty for like 12 years now, which is probably a problem. I buy the same thing every year, reskin with different maps and different guns. Sometimes the same guns. But like
Madden's been doing it since the 90s.
It's weird though because there's some weird like competitive side to it that just gets me fired up and I like need to play. It's like Yeah, I don't know. Like I get so upset playing video games. It's like I don't know why I play, but then it's like the same reason like why I played like sports. I guess is like even though I'm getting upset, it's like that need to like try to be better at it. I guess.
Well, see, I'm a very competitive person. I
Yeah.
didn't get that vibe from you, so I think this is just your outlet to be competitive.
Oh, see, no, I you don't know the stories of me back in high school.
A whole 2 years ago.
It's like 3 years now.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't know the story about me getting ejected from a baseball game and like suspended 2 games because
No,
I lost my mind after we lost a game.
you got suspended after a game.
I got ejected after a game and suspended the 2 games after that. I lost my mind. I remember we
Hold
lost.
on. Let's set up the story. So this was what year in high school?
I was a sophomore.
Okay, so sophomore year. This is varsity or junior varsity?
So this was actually like I was in high school for time frame. This is in our Babe Ruth league at the time.
Okay,
So we lost by a suicide squeeze. It was like so in Babe Ruth in high school you only go to 7 innings.
okay. So which team is at bat?
The other team, my team's in the
Okay,
field. So
gotcha.
so I'm pitching. First person that up in the inning gets on because of an error. Okay. Second person in the inning gets on
Hold on one
base.
sec. Were you pitching the entire game, or were you coming in to
No,
close it
I
out?
came in. I came in.
Okay,
I wasn't even coming in to close it out because it was a tied game. It was just to try to get through the inning. So then second player gets on because of an error. Third player gets on because of miscommunication between our shortstop and third baseman, so the ball just fell right between them on a pop-up. What
Mhm.
it should have been an infield fly, but because neither one of them camped underneath it, it wasn't. So
Okay.
then
How many outs are there at this point? Bases are
there's
loaded.
none because 2 errors and then miscommunication between our shortstop and third baseman. Then comes up this kid. He puts around the bat to bunt. He bunts. The kid is stealing for home. There's nothing you can do about a suicide squeeze 90% of the time. And kid scores. I take the ball. I threw it at the backstop as hard as I could, took my glove, threw it. I looked at the other team's coach. I pointed at him. I was like, "You're a fucking pussy!" Screamed it. And I was so upset. Like, I don't even know why I was so upset. And then I started going over to our dugout. He starts saying something to me. I start screaming back at him. And then my dad had to our actual head coach couldn't be there that day, so my dad
No, no. Your dad was the coach.
so my dad was like coach. So like my dad was helping out coaching throughout the entire year. He just didn't want a head coach because anytime he head coached, there was always some type of problem I had. Whether it was me yelling at him and getting upset, or me just being like a blatant dickhead, like in this situation. And oh my god. So then my dad is like in this guy's face because he's like this like jacked up dude on steroids that's coming over me trying to say stuff. And I told the guy I was like, "I'll kick your ass." And then the guy starts like pressing up against my dad. He's like, "Control your fucking son." And then the funny part is this like 30-year-old guy jacked up in steroids is trying to come after a 15-year-old and gets in my dad's face. So then I walked up to the guy. The umpire starts pulling me back because I don't even know like what was going through my head. I was out of my mind. And then this led to a kind of a downward spiral of my life up until
Last week.
oh yeah, I lost my mind. I used to get in trouble like I used to like coaches and stuff would like just always say stuff to me like you can't like be swearing and stuff. You can't be screaming at players on the other team. Oh man, it was bad. I had to have like a revival tour. I had to, yeah, no, it was.
So let's go back to the story at hand. So the umpire pulls you back.
So
Things clear up.
The umpire pulls me back. He finally gets us all to line up to like do handshakes and stuff.
You
And
gotta
then
skip that point.
nope, so he does skip that. I still haven't been ejected at this point.
The game's over. You can't get ejected after the game.
No, you can apparently get ejected from the field. So we're going to give handshakes. And I don't know, something set me off with that coach on the other team that was jacked up on steroids and stuff. He like said something or gestured something to me. So I flipped him off and said, "Fuck you, buddy." That got me ejected. We can't go. We can't do like the high five and stuff through the line. I remember I didn't even have my dad bring me home. My friend on the team, him and his mom brought me home because I was like, I'm not getting ear raped in the car. And then yeah, so we went so I think we got like ice cream or something after. That was fun. And, I remember getting a call from the head of the league or something telling me I was suspended for 2 games, which
there was no hearing or anything.
Which was the last 2 games of the season.
Well, we're not making the playoffs with this team anyways.
But like it wasn't just that. I remember like what set me off originally is I said something like, I didn't say you fucking pussies until when I first got off the mound. I said something like, oh, you have to bunt to win or something. And
which is he had 3 guys on base, Marco. It was a valid baseball play.
You know what? I don't care. I hate bunting. So I said that, and then he said something to me like, that's why you didn't make the All-Star team or something, and then that set me off. Because I didn't make the All-Star team that year, which the reason I didn't make the All-Star team was partially because of my behavior due to my competitiveness of just like swearing up a storm all the time.
The idea that he knew that going into the game, that he knew the stats of every player on the other team in case he had a trash talk. That's why. And again, you're 15. That's why you didn't make the All-Star team? Like, what a weird thing to say.
Oh, I know. I remember, like, I was hearing, like, the fact that he said that, I was like, oh, man, now I just have to do something. But
you didn't make the All-Star team in a Berkshire County 413 area code? Ooh.
Oh, man.
You should have said that's why you didn't make the majors.
That would have been a good one.
We gotta track this game down. Either we gotta get some sort of video of it.
It's a Babe Ruth game.
Well, I figured some parent had to be recording.
There wasn't. I don't know. I can't remember.
Anybody else besides your dad there that I know? Was your mom there, Joe? Anybody happen to be there?
No, my mom wasn't there. If you ask Joe about it, he may remember it.
He was there?
He wasn't there, but he'll remember the story of like it all happening, because I think I remember like I came home, or he was at the house at one point, and he's like, so what happened? I was like, nothing. Like, I don't know, like,
you seem so calm and normal.
Yeah, no.
I didn't know that was part of your story.
Oh, like, no, like, I am, like, pretty, like, calm and collective, I guess, but, like, when it comes to, like, being competitive and stuff, I lose my mind. I absolutely lose it. Like, you know, like, when we do those AMRAPs and stuff at the gym? Mm-hmm. For people that don't know, this is as many rounds as possible. So, like, we have these workouts, we have a set time frame, and we have to go through these list of workouts as many times as possible within the time frame. If I don't win those, if anybody is ahead of me besides Joe, I lose my mind. Like I literally can't sleep at night. It kills me. It's bad. Like it absolutely like if this was like me back in high school, it was way worse. But around like my senior year and stuff, I kind of like learned how to deal with like losing and everything in a way. It still kills me to an extent. I just know how to suppress my anger and everything better about it. But I hate losing. I can't stand it. But like when I play video games, I'm off the rails. I get texts at like 2 in the morning from my mom telling me to shut up. I'm in the basement in the opposite corner of the house from where she sleeps.
You're gonna have to soundproof the basement.
It's like I'll let it loose like if I'm playing video games and stuff because I don't care. But like I'm not gonna like let it loose in front of people ever again because that kind of changed how that changed my life for a bit. I remember getting
you're a psychopath. I don't know what the difference. Marco, you're like a couple strikes away from just being a serial killer.
The thing, no. The way I look at it is like Tom Brady on the sidelines when he goes into Psycho Tom. That's how I felt.
Right, but he's playing a children's game for millions of dollars. I get why. No, it sounds like you have that gene. We just got to find a way to either harness it or
Like
kill it.
What do you mean harness it? Like hold it down?
No, so like Tom Brady's that competitive
Yeah.
is why he's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady, how do I put it? If Tom Brady didn't have football, that would be an obnoxious person to be around.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine golfing with him is probably not fun.
No,
he's probably not as good as he knows he can be because he plays football and
Yeah.
that's his passion. So he's going to be just super angry about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw any of his celebrity golfing match.
The
this
one
summer.
against Peyton Manning.
And he got destroyed because
Yeah.
Peyton Manning has nothing but time to golf.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
no, he was not happy about it. But like, yeah, I don't know, like I have to use it like once in a while. Like when I'm doing work and stuff, I kind of get like I had to like kind of look at it as like a competition, like whether it's schoolwork or something.
I don't think it's a bad thing by any chance, man. I think it's a good thing. I just, like I said, I had no idea you had that side of you. And I've spent a lot of time with you.
I know, yeah. That's
So
because
that you kept that under wraps.
that's because like I had to kind of shut down that side of me.
Mhm.
Like it was bad. Like I almost got kicked off the high school baseball team because of it. That was brutal.
I think the issue, Marco, is you're just not good at a team sport where other people can let you down. You probably should have done a solo sport. Instead of this, I want to see you play tennis and go full 1980s John McEnroe, the guy that would just yell and whip his racket.
No, I'm not playing tennis.
All right, guys. We're playing tennis this summer. That's what we're doing.
And I know I would not be able to play golf because I think I would get kicked off the course or something for screaming. That I will lose my mind playing that game. God. But yeah, no, that side of me does exist. But
I mean, as long as you keep it in check.
Oh no, I'm able to keep it in check. It's fine. It's easy.
The video game thing sounds hilarious. I just don't know if you'll do it if you're being recorded.
What, scream?
I generally would like to see this.
Oh no, it happens. It happens.
And if you're yelling and screaming, I assume the people you're playing with hate it.
My friends absolutely hate it when I'm screaming in the party chat, yes. They do.
Calm down.
They always say, Marco, turn on your fucking mic. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. You think I'm just like, you think like when I go to scream, the first thing is, hey, I'm going to mute myself so I don't hurt your ears.
Might not be a bad idea.
Oh no, it's probably not. I lose it sometimes, but like I lose it like there's acceptable times when I lose it, like when I'm playing video games, and that's about it. I don't like video games is like when I get all my stress out.
Makes sense.
So like this entire past like month and a half, like when Joe was gone from the gym and like I wasn't able to play video games that much, oh man, was it hurting. I was like, there's so much stress right now. This past weekend though, I let it loose. It was great. It was wonderful. I feel so light right now. It is awesome.
All right. No
But
worries. So Marco, go
it
ahead.
also doesn't help my sophomore year. My grades started dipping as well. So
Because of your anger.
there was like just other like I don't even know, like my grades just started dipping. Those outbursts were becoming more frequent and stuff, and yeah, so I had to like kind of change my life altogether. So
Hmm.
yeah, life changing
Good for you.
experience from one outburst. That was the culmination of many outbursts. But
All right. So we are just under an hour after we take out the setup. You want to do some football talk, or did you have something else you want to talk about?
I think we need to talk about some nerd news actually.
You got nerd news?
So
Sorry, I thought you were
rumor
going to look at me for it. I was
rumor
like, I don't
has
have
it
any.
rumor has it. Well, I want to see if I can pull it up, but I don't know if I'd be able to find it again. Um, it is up there. Rumor has it that Sony has asked or is planning on doing like they already made a deal and stuff uh with Marvel and Disney, saying that they want to do a Spider-Verse trilogy with Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. This third Spider-Man that the rumor has happened is setting those guys up for this Spider-Verse trilogy. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I'm not sure if this is confirmed, but that was the thing that was floating around today.
I did hear that. I heard if this is the case, I got the William Dafoe back as the Green Goblin. I feel like we talk about this a lot for it not being confirmed,
Well,
but it's just
I've
talk about a big swing.
yeah,
This is Sony just trying to make all their money back at once.
and they're going to have a separate Spider-Man universe as part of their plan too with this trilogy.
So speaking of, so it's separate than the Marvel one.
I think they're coinciding with one another, but I don't think I think with how they're doing the whole Spider-Verse thing, it may not affect Tom Holland's universe, but affects the others maybe. I don't know.
So I don't know how to even say it. Sony's going to screw it up. Sony can barely make any movie, and they're going to screw this up.
So
They are aiming too big.
apparently Marvel is working on this more than expected.
So Marvel is involved.
Marvel is involved.
Okay. So I have a little hope for it. It just seems like they're trying to do a Spider-Man universe. If Marvel's not involved, they're in trouble. Straight up.
Yeah.
Like they're just going to tank. They might even tank Spider-Man.
I don't know. They
Rather
did
than
good.
just not
They
try.
did a good job though on the Spider-Verse movie.
No, they did a great job. Because I have a feeling they were very hands off on that one. Because it was a cartoon and they weren't expecting it to do anything.
Yeah.
So with them being hands off, I think is the way to go. But that
Yeah.
is a lot to commit. And I don't know, man. It's just like we've had those characters. If we're gonna do those characters, do them in their own movies. I don't need them connecting.
Yeah.
But there's a reason we went to Andrew Garfield from Tobey Maguire because Spider-Man 3 is not very good. There's a reason we went from Andrew Garfield to Tom Holland because The Amazing Spider-Man, not great.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to have these characters we know and love back, and this kind of contradicts what I'm saying about sequels. But the idea that we're bringing them back when we have a viable option right now, bring them back in their own separate movie. Don't take my viable option that I like, that I enjoy, and then muddle it down with the past. I don't need it.
Yeah.
It's a nice idea. So guess it depends what movie I'm getting. If I'm getting a movie that's 25% Garfield, 25% Maguire, 50% Holland, okay, I will roll with that. But if they're all equal parts, I don't need a buddy team up Spider-Man 3-person movie where 3 guys all have the same powers that are 3 different ages.
Yeah.
I need to see the vision.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think the whole Spider-Man 4 getting canceled was kind of ridiculous.
Agreed. I was mad at the time.
Like, Spider-Man 3 brought in a lot of money. It was a big deal, that movie.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of money.
And like, not only did it bring in a lot of money, like, it has a cult following.
I think I haven't watched it in a while, but I think it's got a cult following for the wrong reasons. I think people are like, "Oh, look, it's emo Spider-Man doing a jazz dance."
No,
I think
like
they're laughing at it.
no, there are legit people, like, I see it on Twitter all the time defending that movie, but like not like they don't talk about like the emo like Peter Parker and stuff. They're talking about like just typical his character development. They're talking about like um the villains in the movie, the great setup, and I'm like, I don't know what these people are talking about, but it's whatever. They have their own opinions.
Yeah, so I'm interested. It just seems like a big commitment. And my thing is, when are we getting movies back? And how are we getting movies back? Like,
Well, I think a lot of like any movie that is going to start filming in 2021, those are probably taking the Mandalorian type of filming style, using those like LED screens and stuff to create the background effect.
I
But
mean, it's possible, but my thing is just like, if it's getting released to the home, great. I don't have any desire to go see it in theaters, but
yeah,
everything comes out on DVD or home video 2 months after theaters now, anyways.
yeah, I don't know. We're gonna
That's a
have to
weird one.
find out.
So, speaking of that, though, you told me the rumor the other day Ben Affleck's out as Batman. I did read that,
Yep.
but I heard what they're doing. DC's doing what you just said Sony's doing. They're doing two different universes that are somewhat connected. They're going to use Michael Keaton as old Batman and
Yeah.
Patterson as young Batman.
People are wondering if they're getting a Batman Beyond movie.
So we want a Batman Beyond movie, so they're not going to give us a Batman Beyond
Yeah.
movie. Not to be in a negative Marco mood, but
Yeah.
it just makes too much sense. They're going to put Michael Keaton in a suit. They're going to give him a body double, and all of a sudden I'm going to believe 80-year-old Michael Keaton is punching people in the mouth.
That is like one of my earliest Batman like memories. I remember watching that when I was younger.
I remember that was definitely around when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because that was 88 and early 90s, so it was definitely on TV.
I forget like what is the premise of Batman Beyond? Like what?
Oh, you're talking about Batman Beyond. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about Michael Keaton.
Oh no.
Batman Beyond. So there was the 90s Batman cartoons,
Okay.
and I'm sure if you've seen them, you would recognize it. They were on for reruns for years. So
Mhm.
this was a continuation of the story. Bruce Wayne is old. He has a heart condition that doesn't let him be Batman anymore.
Okay.
In order to be Batman, he had to evolve. And this is like 60 years after like his prime. So he's like in his 90s.
Yeah.
He had to evolve to fight futuristic villains. So he's wearing a Batman suit that was taking too much from his heart. He was having heart issues.
Yeah.
So this street tough kid, Terry McGinnis, one day stumbles into the Batcave and quote unquote steals the bat suit. But he's so good in the bat suit, Bruce Wayne decides he is going to mentor him.
Okay.
So Bruce Wayne hangs out in the Batcave and like guides him on his missions while Terry McGinnis is out saving the world. It got really, I feel like it got rushed towards the end because they knew it was getting canceled. Like now they would have brought it back by now. But back then you didn't do that. Like something was canceled, it was canceled. But by the end of the season, you realize like Terry McGinnis isn't like an orphan. He was like a clone of Bruce Wayne. That Amanda Waller took.
Okay.
And set up, and no one knew. There's some really good moments in it. So like the Joker comes back.
Yeah.
And so it's an old Joker versus young Batman. Then he's got his own rogues gallery of villains that come and go. It's actually really good, man. Netflix had it for a couple years ago. I don't think they have it anymore. Worth a watch if you can find.
I got websites. Don't worry. XXX.
www.youtube.com. But I don't know. So now we're risking. We know that Michael Keaton can act.
Yep.
So I'm excited for that. Who gets the Justice League? Old man Michael Keaton. So the Justice League movie that came out.
Yeah, like, are you saying what? What do you mean? Who gets it?
Do you give it to young Batman with Patterson, or do you give it with Michael Keaton?
Um, I think somehow they both may coincide.
No,
Honestly, I don't even think DC has any idea what they're doing.
no, DC's drunk at the wheel. Because I watched that second Wonder Woman movie. I wasn't impressed.
I heard it starts off really good and then just falls off badly.
Yep, that's exactly what it does. So, and again, I'm not. And what happens is like there's just no clear vision.
Yeah,
Like Marvel had a vision from its start with Jon Favreau, and they followed the vision.
I wonder how. Like, I feel bad for Jon Favreau because it feels like they just kind of were like, "Hey, you gave us a great setup. You can just stay in here as happy."
Yeah, and you be happy about it.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like he had like he probably had a very big influence on like a lot of the movies and probably like storyboards and stuff. We just don't know.
I'm sure he
That's why
did.
I'm so excited that like he's heading like this entire Star Wars universe.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see what he does with it.
Yeah.
But no, like DC is just like you look at those DC movies. Wonder Woman 1, great.
Yeah.
Aquaman 1, great. Justice League, trash. So bad.
The CGI
Batman
is
v
awful.
Superman, bad.
What is up with their like special effects and stuff? Why are they bad?
I feel like they just rush these movies.
I don't know.
Or they just go too big. I don't know either, man. So it's just like I get really bummed out when DC has source material and it's time to come out and it's just like they've always let me down.
Yeah.
Like they have Green Lantern and they've done nothing with Green Lantern but the Ryan Reynolds movie, which I know we
Yeah.
don't even have to joke about it. We know how bad it is. But it's been a decade.
Well,
Give me something with Green Lantern.
yeah.
And then it's just like Justice League was too funny, where Batman v Superman was too dark. Pick a lane. Are these movies funny or are these movies dark?
I think it's fine to change up the tone on them because
But
like
you can't do it.
we've seen that in the Marvel universe, but like you
Can
have
have
to.
Wonder Woman be funny and Aquaman be serious, but you can't have group setup movies
Yeah.
change tone. All the
Yeah.
Avengers have the same tone. You
Yeah.
don't get Avengers 2 as a buddy comedy
No,
and
yeah.
Avengers 4 is like drama.
Yeah.
No, like the group movies have to be the group movies. And it's just because they didn't earn that group movie. And
No,
my
yeah.
thing is like, what are we doing? Like the Flash movie gets canceled every other week and has to find a new director. Flash movie I don't even want. Now I'm going on a rant. Sorry. Cyborg says he was like abused on the set of Justice League. I don't know what they did to this poor man that he doesn't want to be Cyborg anymore. But guess what? I don't care about Cyborg.
So
He's not even like a big part of the Justice League. He's part of Teen Titans.
I thought that there was something where like Warner Brothers didn't want him though either.
My thing is like, I don't need that character. If you want to get rid of the character, that's fine, but either do something or give it back.
Yeah.
So it's just like we got Superman.
Yeah.
Do something with Superman, but you're not doing anything with Superman either. So it's like we're just treading water.
Yeah.
And they are going to fast track Wonder Woman 3. So we're going to have 3 Wonder Woman movies, 1 Batman movie, 2 team up movies where all the characters are different. I don't know, man.
So
we know
weird.
DC's struggling, but give me a break.
Just
give me something.
Yeah.
If it's a TV show,
where does Suicide Squad fit into all this?
Don't even get me started with that because now it's just like, all right, Disney fired James Gunn for like 2 weeks. He signs up. It's a spite move. That's a relationship spite move. So now he goes and dates her best friend.
Yep.
Is all that was. Dates her best friend to make Disney jealous. He's back with Disney, but he has to make the movie with the jealous girlfriend.
Yep.
And now we're going to, guess what? That Suicide Squad movie some people like, other people hate, that's gone.
Yep.
It's a sequel with everyone just named Harley Quinn. Like, that's it. So it's just like we
I
keep
never even
rebooting
saw the Harley Quinn movie. I forgot about that.
Birds of Prey. It's not bad. It's not great.
Didn't they rename it?
Yeah, it was like They had to rename it because it was just too long. It was like the Misadventures of an Emancipated Harley Quinn. Like, who thought that was a great idea?
But I thought they had to rename it again because people didn't realize it was a Harley Quinn movie.
Oh, that's right. It was first called the Birds of Prey dash the Emancipation of something Harley Quinn. But it's too long, so they had to rename it Harley Quinn or something. Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn. I don't know. I saw it, man. It's not bad. But there's a reason you can buy these movies for $4 a year after they come out.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So I just don't understand how it's like, Will Smith's gone. Will Smith's the second biggest name in that movie.
They replaced him with Idris Elba, right?
I don't know. I can't even keep track.
Yeah, I don't.
And they added a bunch of characters. So you have Harley Quinn. I think they kept the katana from the first one. She had a sword. She has a mask. She's cool. I think they kept those two, and everyone else is getting either redone or they brought in new characters. So like John Cena's going to be the main character.
Oh my god!
Which is fine. I don't mind John Cena, but when John Cena's on screen, I see John Cena. I don't see a character.
Yeah.
So if John Cena's playing someone else besides John Cena, I don't buy it, which isn't his fault. Same thing with The Rock. I don't go see Rock movies because I'm thinking, oh, he's going to like blow my mind. It's going to be an action movie. Rock's going to play The Rock, and we're going to move out. We're going to move on with it.
It's so weird. It's such a mess.
But so what's going to happen? James Gunn's going to make a baller movie. Everyone's going to like it. And they're going to try and force a Suicide Squad into, I don't even know, Great Justice? Some dumb name they'll come up with for the next group movie.
Yeah.
And my thing is Justice League. Okay, so Wonder Woman's going to come back. Either make Wonder Woman the leader of the Justice League or just leave her out of it. Because she's the only one with a viable profit movie at this point besides Aquaman. So
I'm trying to see if I can find a cast picture of like the Suicide Squad 2.
Do it up. I'll keep ranting. So we have the Justice League. Wonder Woman's back. Aquaman's back. That's cool. Oh, by the way, your Flash is dressing up in women's clothing and punching people in bars. So we never know if he's going to be here or not.
Yeah.
No offense to like whatever identity he wants to. I think he likes to be pronounced as him or her. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you can't you're going to trust him with a movie franchise when he's fighting people in bars? That's going to go great. The one that plays the machine, Cyborg, doesn't want anything to do with it. I wasn't crazy about Ezra Miller as the Flash to begin with. And we have a replacement Batman. I don't know, Marco. Just give me. I don't know how much you know about DC. The Hawkman. He's got like hawk wings and a mace. Hawkwoman and Hawkman. Give me those two.
I don't recognize any of these people. Can you see them?
I see them. I'm trying to think.
Like I don't. None of these characters except Harley Quinn look the same. This looks like Gamora's sister over here, Nebula.
Mm-hmm. So the shark in the back.
Idris Elba is replacing Will Smith, I believe, as Deadshot.
I'm trying to think of the shark's name.
Was he in the first one?
He was not in the first one. They had an alligator, but the shark villain is his name's King Shark. He's a famous villain in DC, which is cool that they're doing.
Is that Pete Davidson?
I think he is in it.
Yeah. So it's a dream come true.
I don't understand Pete Davidson. And the fact, like, how can he do this blockbuster but then go back to Saturday Night Live? Like, do you get to just do that?
No, he doesn't.
So John Cena plays a character called Peacemaker, and he's already signed up to do a solo movie.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson's playing a character called Richard Hertz.
Yeah.
And forgive me for those out there that know who these characters are already. Jared Leto is rumored to be the Joker.
In this
Idris
movie?
Idris Elba is playing Bloodsport, not Bloodshot. So 2 different characters.
Okay.
Amanda Waller's back. They said Michael Rooker, the blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, he's supposed to be in it.
Well, he's dead
Oh.
now.
Right. My thing is, Marco, Suicide Squad, fine. You now have 20 members. That's too many members to introduce and for me to care about. Give me 8. Give me 8 members, and in the second one, add 4 more.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing.
And it's just like,
how are they going to explain the like disappearance of just like all the other characters?
I think they'll do it like in the first 2 minutes.
Hey,
Oh, this one's in jail. This one blew up. These ones aren't talking anymore. And then by the time the third movie rolls around, we'll have a Suicide Squad Suicide Verse.
I bet you Will Smith's character just goes back to his family in Bel Air.
Well, if you remember, it was like his character was very family driven in Suicide Squad.
No,
so
that's
he gives
why.
up crime. I just don't understand, man. I feel like the Harley Quinn character should be just printing money at this point.
Yeah.
And they can't seem to fix it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Why don't they make Harley Quinn a villain in the Wonder Woman movie? Mind blown, Marco.
Because she wasn't an actual villain of Wonder Woman, probably. I don't know.
My thing is DC has some great villains, man, that they're just killing.
They do.
They're killing the Riddler, Penguin, Joker.
I was watching a video, and Marvel pretty much copied like 90% of the villains from DC. Like DC came out with the villain first, and then Marvel came out with one very similar shortly after.
You're talking about the comics, yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy when you didn't have to worry about copyright lawyers back in the day.
Yeah, no, I know. Screw copyright. God.
I mean, now you do that, you're going to get sued before it's even printed.
I know. Like our last podcast I uploaded, it gave me a copyright claim instantly.
Oh, really? What happened?
Remember the Take On Me thing? I had to cut it out.
Oh, really?
It auto cut it out for me, though.
The song?
The music wasn't actually playing. It was the video itself.
Really? That's
yeah. Which
so
I was
we
shocked
can watch.
about.
How can we watch the video on YouTube and have that be okay, but us putting in our video and putting it up is not okay?
Because that was like the actual source was putting it up on YouTube.
Oh, really? That was the band?
Yeah.
I just assumed it wasn't.
I thought the rule was different, though. I thought it couldn't be. I thought it only got copyrighted if you were monetizing off of videos.
Who knows? We've gone over this. I feel like this is a natural stopping point.
Yeah, sure.
Don't hang up the call after we sign off. I want to talk to you real quick.
Okay.
All right, guys. That is Nerds in the Gym podcast. We're working on getting Joe back. Going to switch up some days and see what we can do.
Yeah.
As always, I'm Brandon.
I'm Marco.
And remember, if you see Steve Jones, you can hug him.
Or kiss him.
For it. He's okay with it. He told us to do that. All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll catch you next week.
Adios, amigos.